Hey, welcome to Inspire and Aspire. And today I have a person who's extremely dear to me. Her name is Pratiksha Prashant. I have to let you all know that Pratiksha and I did an interview 2 years ago, one and a half years ago, which I could not air out because half of the interview did not have a sound. And I was feeling so bad about it because she gave me her precious time. So this time I managed to convince her again to spend some time with me. The reason why we have Pratiksha here today is a brief introduction about her. She's a doting wife, an amazing mother. She runs two businesses and she's a hustler. Okay, so there are a lot of things to learn from her. She's extremely quiet when you meet her, but when you actually get to know her, she's a woman of substance, a woman with a drive. So here we have Pratiksha. Welcome.
Hi Priya, how are you?
I'm very well.
Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome, Pratiksha, and thank you once again. And the reason why I really wanted to speak to you is because I know you run two businesses, okay? You have your own interior firm. You are a wonderful architect, interior designer. I mean, like, you can elaborate more on it. And you are also the family of Kishan Das, so you take care of that as well. And you have two kids and lot to do. How do you manage doing all this, and how do you manage to be successful?
So I can tell you how I managed to do everything, but I cannot tell you how I managed to be successful
Okay.
because success is something that others see in you, like when I personally see anything, whether it is pertaining to my work, whether it is pertaining to my house or my husband or my children, I just see, okay, fine, tick, that's one job done, because for me, I just give my best to whatever I do. And it's by God's grace that it becomes successful. For me, it's like, yes, if I give my fullest to something, it'll it'll turn out positively, so that's what people call success. But
Correct.
yeah, like, I always like to give my full, like, my 100%, to whatever I do.
That's so
So
true.
yeah, so the like they say, that whatever you, however you are to anything, whether it is however you are, like, the way people are to you is a reflection of what you are to them, so I feel that if I'm true to my work, my work will be true to me. So I believe in giving my 100% to whatever I do. So that's the secret of my
Yes,
success, as
we've
you
seen that. We've seen that because I've worked with you for a brief period when we did a fashion show together. You have so much of creativity in you. I've also seen you put in so much of eye for detail. You know, your daughter's dance performance, which was a year and a half ago, correct? Or last year, July.
say. Last year, July, Ranga Pravesham, yes.
Yeah, and it was perfect, right from the invite to the whole setup. So can you give me two or three of your main strengths that help you put all these things together? Because that could inspire our audience.
So whenever the particular event, my first thing is, that I don't promise anyone anything if I will not be able to give that particular thing good amount of time.
Hmm.
And planning is something which I totally believe in.
Hmm.
I don't, even if it is just someone coming home for dinner, I mean, it's not that I'll say just make anything or something. I'm not a person who will do a lot of show, like, like decorate the table or things like that. But I prefer, to be in a good state of mind when someone comes. I feel being pleasant to someone when somebody comes is more important than, laying out a silver dinner set or something like that. That's my, so I try to plan my day. So planning is something which I really feel good. I mean, I really believe in. That is the first thing for any event, whether it's an event at home or whether it's an event at work. My husband, my in-laws, they are jewelers, so I look after the store, one of their stores, and we have photo shoots, so a lot of planning goes in that as well. So planning to the last core, and, like making a list of the things that are needed, that is something that I really believe in. My other main strength, is my husband. So he lets me do whatever I want to do in terms of, Like when it comes to, he'll not say, why do you need this? Yeah, he says sometimes when he sees that I get overstressed.
Yes.
So he says that you don't need to do 100 on 100, even 95 is going to bring you the same result, or, the similar result, because he says that sometimes the smaller things that you see, people really don't see at that much, when they come for a particular event or something. But yeah, he is one of my great strengths. And also my children, my family supports me a lot. My kids, my extended family, like that is my in-laws, and my husband's brother, and Biach, my nieces, nephews, they all know, that when there is an event coming, like Pratiksha is like hot here all the time. So
Right.
they also, like, they are very patient with me. And I also believe in delegating work. I
Hmm.
don't believe in taking everything on my head. I
Hmm.
believe in, yes, like if I have to give an X person a work, I will give him all the total list that this is what you have to follow.
Hmm.
And I will choose people who I know will follow what I have written, rather than, trying to. I do take suggestions, but that is before the program.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, before the program, I'll take suggestions when we ponder over it. But once something is decided, then we go for it, So, like, of course, because we are in a joint family, we have a lot of events which keep on coming up. We have weddings in our family, like I have events at the store. I take care of a couple of things in my community also, So
Hmm.
yeah, planning, time management is something which I really believe in.
I,
And that
I've
is
seen that.
something I thrive on.
Yeah, I've seen that because I've seen you travel from your office to your store, then managing something with the kids, giving them an instruction over the phone, and your daughter did so well academically in terms of her dance. She got into the college of her dreams, so it's good. I think for us, like you rightly mentioned, I think a woman can only achieve their goals when we have the support of our husband and family. And
Yes, yes.
yeah, which is so true. I mean, you put it really, really well, because I think without, like, even for me, without my mom-in-law or my husband or my kids, I don't think I would be able to do anything that I do, because they give us that full support and they respect what we do. And they,
Respect.
yeah.
And I feel that, when the children, they see their parents work hard, and when they see them managing well, I feel it comes to them as well.
Hmm.
We don't need to tell them, children don't listen to what you tell, but they see what you do.
Correct.
Once you start giving lecture to the children, their ear valves just close off like this.
True.
Oh, she started again, but they actually see what you are doing and how you react in certain situations, how you react in stress, how you manage things. They might say, oh, you are old school and this and that, but like, I would like to say that I'm a total replica of my parents, like, how they were.
Hmm. Hmm.
I felt they would overdo things when at that age of mine. But today, in retrospect, when I see, the planning and things like that is what I have learned from them.
That's so true. And also, I think what I love about all of you, Pratiksha, and especially the way you've raised your children, they're so humble and sweet. I mean, even Om and Pari, both of them are so humble. Your entire family, I think, they're all so, so sweet, well mannered, and we feel so much. Everyone feels special
That
when.
is all that because of you. You please come and see how they are at home.
No, no. But even outside, they're really, really good. And that's what matters. At home, I think people should be themselves as long as they are, good outside. That's what really matters to us as parents. So, the other thing I want to ask you, Pratiksha, is that this whole pandemic must have really kind of, I wouldn't say affected you, but you would have probably had to slow down a bit because of, the whole lockdown and then post. How did you cope with this whole thing?
Yeah. So the see, it's not that it hasn't affected us. It has affected everybody. From the basic like people who work for us,
Hmm.
from them, whether it is domestic help at home, or whether it is our sales staff in the shop, whether it is my design staff in my office or my site staff. It has affected every genre of people,
Hmm.
every level of people. Whether it is a higher level, it's not that okay, because we have a big house, and we have somewhere to stay for, and so we don't have to think about it. It's not like that. uh, Wherein business is concerned, bigger the business, more the problems. So it's like that. So yes, when the lockdown started initially, Priya, I enjoyed myself. It was like a break well needed, not knowing exactly where we were going,
Hmm.
but somewhere in my mind, I don't know why, you can say sixth sense or something, I knew this would not end fast.
Hmm.
you know I was not one of the people who thought that, okay, yeah, this is going to get over in 2 months and 3 months and 6 months. Even today, I don't believe in people who say, oh, next month the vaccine is going to come out, and we are all going to be fine and all that. We have to change our lifestyle. We have to become more uh, orthodox in our approach. I'm
Hmm.
not telling in our thinking.
Hmm.
I'm not saying it, but like the way we used to go out and meet people, and uh, I'm not the person who believes that if I don't meet somebody, my connect from the heart is not there. Like, to be very frank with you, I
Hmm.
don't know when I met you actually last, but if I have to refer to Priya, I will still say, oh, she's my very good friend, or she's one of my best friends or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't believe in that. So we will have to change our method of life, our style of our lifestyle, and everything, kids and all that. So when the lockdown started, initially we were at home, and then actually in a month and a half, we realized that things are going to get difficult, things are going to be difficult. Things like talking about both my jobs separately, the jewelry store, it is different because people are scared to come to the store. Jewelry is not a necessity like groceries, that people will come and buy.
Hmm.
And like, the gold prices suddenly for a certain time, they really went high.
Hmm.
And plus we have staff, and now even if someone sneezes, you don't want to come to the store for 2 weeks, because
Exactly.
you don't know what it
Exactly.
is. So,
True.
a lot of problems of those type. Then, people don't come that much. Not a lot of weddings are happening. Even if they are happening, people are doing it in the house. So, like the financial crunch is there everywhere. It's for everybody. It's not only for me or for you. It's for everybody.
For everyone.
Like, even for somebody who is salaried, like they're having a cut in the salary. Suppose, I'm talking about people who are like at high posts and all.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to some or the other type of stress.
Hmm.
Now, regarding my architecture work, we, like, till the lockdown, we really held back all the labor at our sites, and like, I paid them weekly for their groceries and things like that and all that. But as soon as the lockdown was over, everybody went back to the village. And at the same time, clients were telling us to start the work, because it was already a 3 months delay.
Hmm.
So, like, those type of small stresses were there. But yes, we have what I have understood and what I have learned, that we have to keep. I have never been a very ambitious person in terms of, that I have not like set some goals, that this is where I want to reach,
Hmm.
this is where I want to, I want to, like, be
Hmm.
known this way, or I want to be known that way. There's nothing set that I did.
Hmm.
So there was nothing really that I had to change. It's,
Hmm.
I had not written anything that I had to erase.
Correct.
I
Correct.
always wrote
Hmm.
according to what is going to come in the near future.
Hmm.
So in that way, yes, we have to be more like, one thing in the pandemic that, which I would really like to tell is, that I started learning Vedic chanting.
Wow.
So this also, like I told you, it was not like on the agenda or anything. It just happened
Just
by
happened.
chance. I have a very good friend named Mamta,
Hmm.
and she is a yoga teacher, and she teaches Vedic chanting. She has been teaching since a very long time, but
Hmm.
I never had the thought or the inclination or something like that.
Hmm.
When the lockdown started, I remember in 2-3 days only, like, the day is pretty long, because you're there the whole day at home. And
Hmm.
so I said, why don't this? I called up Mamta. I said, Mamta, I want to learn chanting. She said, yeah, yeah. I thought, what is chanting? Oh, like, my Om Bhur Bhuva. So I thought
Ah.
something like that. We don't know.
Correct.
We've just heard of it. She said, yeah, yeah, okay, you learn. I said, do you think I'll be able to learn? She said, yeah. So first, normally I'm a quick learner for anything except cooking. Okay, cooking is something I can't learn. So I just asked her, do you think I will be able to do it well? She said, yeah, yeah, you learn. the first two classes were just a total shattering of my ego because I was not getting anything. It
Okay.
was very difficult. But slowly, as I started learning, I realized, that it is not the person who chants is great. Those chants themselves have so much of power in them.
Hmm.
And now it has been like almost 5 6 months. And of course, in that time, when we were having, when the lockdown was there, I would take like 3 4 classes with her.
Hmm.
And, like she would really go on teaching me because I was learning fast and I really started getting interested. Then I started practicing where, I would make my husband and my children sit and,
Hmm.
chant in front of them, with them. Of
Hmm.
course, I didn't teach them because I don't think that I have learned that well that I can correct other people's mistakes.
Hmm.
A teacher, you have to be that way, which again, like I'm telling you, that's not my goal.
Hmm.
But I started practicing and I started enjoying it.
Hmm.
And I started seeing that it gave me a lot of calmness, like the vibrations in the house.
Hmm.
And it was really fascinating, like really fascinating to know that there is a chant for every time.
Wow.
If you are having fear, there is a chant. If you are feeling low, there is a chant. See, there is no chant written that if you are fearing something, there's no
Hmm.
chant for that. But if you like the Durga Suktam, it is like a chant on Durga. So that is something, when you chant it, it brings a type of a boldness in you. Then there is so like there is a Arogya mantra, which is, for general health. There is something called a Lagunyasa, which is for somebody who is sick, which you can chant for somebody who is sick, or even if you are sick, you can chant for yourself.
Hmm. Hmm.
There are chants for medicines. If you're taking some medicines, if you want those medicines to work well, there are chants for that. So, there are chants for everything. So, that is something which fascinated me a lot. And, like I started learning. And uh, I know I might sound like one old 80-year-old lady, who's telling, oh my God, like Vedic chant is great and all that type of stuff. But I don't know why. But I've suddenly developed, a lot of faith. There is
Hmm.
a chant for faith.
Wow.
There is a chant for memory. Like if there are children who have problem for, like, like they say, no, they're forgetful. So they
Yeah.
not forgetful, but these chants used to be taught to children when they were young, so
Hmm.
that their memory will develop.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So, like there is a chant for everything, for eyesight, like it's very fascinating to know that, so this is something which, I have learned in my lockdown. And it has like I feel like whenever now, because the challenges are new
Hmm.
in work, Priya. We don't know
Correct.
what is going to be the future. So I feel this also, it helps me a lot, in keeping myself calm and keeping, like, God is just letting me sail my boat. The biggest challenge for me is having teenager children sit at home the whole time.
Hmm.
Like, they are having online classes, and, for them to sit, we feel okay, fine, they are busy, but if you go to see from their perspective,
Hmm.
my children are never the ones who would go out a lot or anything
Hmm.
of that sort, but still, like my son would go to play basketball.
Very
And
sad.
yeah, and like in my colony we have a basketball court, so in the lockdown he would go there and play with his friends. But as soon as the lockdown opened, 3 4 people in my colony got affected, so we stopped that totally.
Okay.
Everybody gets
Yeah.
scared, and so they have stopped. So, like it's a challenge every day. And
And I think
just make.
chanting, I think, like, to summarize, I think what chanting helps is to cope with every emotion that you go through, right?
Yeah, every
And
type of emotion, like it could be, it could, like I told you, it could be anything, and there is a
chant.
chant for that. Yeah.
No, and also, Pratiksha, the adversity, I mean, everything. There's so much of change. There's so much of, we just don't know what, no? We don't know when schools are going to reopen.
Uncertainty, there's so much of uncertainty, like another one good thing, like my daughter says, that she was studying in Bombay.
Hmm.
She's from here, and she was studying in Bombay. She's studying architecture, and her teachers are her dance teacher is here. So she mentally had really thought, that now she, for her, dance is over.
Hmm.
But now she has dance class 4 times a week on
Yeah.
virtual class.
And
And
some
now the teachers
lovely
are saying that,
performances for Ganesh Chaturthi, for every, and and what I get to see is the simplicity of, you know, a dancer dancing in her own home lawn or in the drawing
Yes,
room,
yes. And
and
just in a simple sari and like very
beautiful
uh,
cotton sari. And it was like, I actually had goosebumps when I saw that, because it had so much of this old world charm
yes,
without too much drama, but there was so much of emotions that came out of her. And
yeah,
you're absolutely right, because I think we take so much for granted our country, which
yeah.
is, you know, so spiritually blessed. I mean,
Yes,
for
yes.
centuries. I mean, Vedas
Centuries,
are,
yeah.
if you read some of Swami Vivekananda's speeches, which he used to narrate like in
Yeah,
the late 18th century and all that, so
yes.
much of wisdom of India. And we are following so much of the Western culture, following, we know
Culture.
about Shakespeare, we know about the Roman culture and everything, but our country and our heritage, which is,
Yes.
I mean, Vedas, the knowledge, if you know about Vedas, the
And
Upanishads.
what we are learning, like what I am learning now, right now, it's very basic. There is a lot of depth in it, and if you really want to learn and all. But what I'm trying to say that even the basic knowledge also brings you so much of positivity, and it is so, matlab, like it's so useful to you, like. But I feel just somewhere down the line we've just forgotten it,
We've
and
forgotten it. And I really think, you know, that's why, you know, don't, I think if we get back to our roots, I don't, like you rightly mentioned, I don't think we're becoming old fashioned. I think we're just embracing our culture and being
culture.
proud of it.
Yeah, we have to be. See, I don't believe in that, like being modern,
Hmm.
you know is being Western. I
Correct.
These are two
Very true.
totally different things. So aping the West, we can never ape them. We
Yeah.
can never be like them. Like I can never, like whether it is clothes or whether it's lifestyle. I can, trust me, I can be the best at what I am supposed to be. I
Correct.
can be best at only, if I try to be like somebody.
Yes.
No, so that's why, like many people, they like sometimes I feel, that I'm very selfish. So when they say, why do you say that? So I say, like we say, like, this color is grayish, this color is blackish. Why? Because it is like black, it is like gray. So
Yeah.
being selfish is being like myself. So
Yes.
okay, fine, I'm selfish. I want to be this way. I want to embrace my culture. I want to hold. I don't want to cling to it and try to become orthodox in my approach
Hmm.
or in my thoughts. Sorry, I want to be orthodox in my approach in this pandemic times, but I want to be orthodox in a way where I don't forget where we are
Our
culturally,
from and our
where we come
culture.
from. Yeah.
And like you mentioned, like I'm sure, like the chants which we use for Goddess Durga gives us
Yeah.
that empowerment. Like right
Mhm.
now,
Yes.
we're reading books on empowerment, but if we look deep
Yes.
within and find
Yes.
our, which you rightly mentioned. So, Pratiksha, I mean, I just want to ask you this one thing. A lot of people are facing a lot of challenges financially, emotionally,
Yes.
physically. Like people are not able to connect with their near and dear ones. There's so much of
Yeah.
pain, like which is going
Pain.
on right
Yes.
now. You see the news, there's so much of negativity. There's only negativity everywhere. A
After
small
the,
problem is
yeah,
made into something so
something.
drastic. There's nothing nice. So is there any special chant which is there for something which is like for overall well-being, prosperity? Is there any particular chant?
So, like, see, like I told you, I'm just learning since 5, 6 months, and I'm not very great on, like, I'm not a connoisseur on what chant is for what or something. But, like, yes, like now I refer to Mamta as my teacher, more than my friend. So, whenever, like, I feel something, I call her up and say, Mamta, I'm feeling like this. What do you think is the chant for this? And I believe in, I will not ask somebody for advice if I'm not sure that
Hmm.
I will believe in their advice.
Hmm.
So the same thing is, so then she said, so like, so for that matter, even today, I
Hmm.
asked her, when the questions, and I said, Mamta, what do you think is the chant for like general well-being?
Hmm.
Because, we as women, we have a different type of a power in ourselves, like we can multitask,
Hmm.
we can actually go through hardships more than what
Hmm.
men can do. And so, like, there is a chant called Shri Suktam,
Hmm.
Ayurvedic chantings, which is on goddess Lakshmi.
Hmm.
Okay, so for us in Kali Yuga, we have put the goddess Lakshmi as the goddess of wealth, but she is not only the goddess of wealth. She is a goddess of any type of growth. It could be health, wealth, general prosperity, a general growth of a person from inside. A person doesn't have to, like today it's very sad, that a person is like, they say, he's a big man. For us, when someone says, we will say, oh, it means he has a lot of money. But in olden times, Priya, that was not the thing. A big man in a village could be even somebody who had a lot of knowledge, who had lot of power or a lot of control over, like people would listen to him. He was very intelligent, he would come up with solutions to problems. People would refer to those type of people as big men. So according to the Vedic chants, it's this particular chant is in praise of goddess Lakshmi, and she's also called as Shri, and it is the very embodiment of beauty, grace, and compassion.
Wow.
We women stand for. So that is a chant which I really relate to a lot, and I think that chant, of course, word to word translation I don't know, but it talks about every aspect, whether it is a house, whether it is land, whether it is health, whether it is physical growth, whether it is any the general health of a person. It talks about every part like that. So I think it's very powerful.
That's really powerful. Okay, that's really nice, Pratiksha. I mean, thank you so much for all these words of wisdom, because I think, see, what I like about you, Pratiksha, is that every time I meet you, and we don't meet often, we may meet like twice a year or thrice a year. Yeah, but whenever we speak, like there's a like the exchange, like there's a dance with I would say there's good chemistry, there's good exchange of knowledge. It's always something that you'll always say something which is very meaningful and deep in the midst of all the chaos that's happening around. and that's the reason why I wanted people and our friends, because you don't really open up to everybody. You're a close person, but you're a very genuine, caring, warm person. And I'll never forget how you sent me chants when I was going through my own challenges 2 months ago for my dad's health, and you prayed for him, sent me those things. And that's why I wanted to, reinforce this whole thing about getting more spiritual during this phase. Yes. Whatever it is, whether it's chanting or meditation, whatever works for somebody.
Because Priya, another thing what I have understood is that the power to change something is within ourselves. What we do is that we look outside for change. We want somebody else to come and change it for us.
Yes.
The power is in ourselves to change. If they say, like, for example, they say that, if I think about something, if I think, there's a cup here, if I think, oh, this will fall, this will fall, this will fall, trust me, it will really fall. Because our thought has so much of power. So, like, when you really positively think and have faith in something to happen, like, this will happen positively, this will happen good. I feel even right now during the pandemic, whatever is happening, I feel, because we were really taking everything for granted, the over usage of everything, the over spending on everything. Of course, don't look at me, even I spend a lot.
No, it's okay. At least we're all, no, it's fine. It's
yeah, so we've come to know, that, you cannot take things for granted the way, we were abusing everything around, nature around, everything. Like, we've got to, matlab, हमको हमारे domestic help की कदर होने लगी अभी.
Yeah. True that. I totally true that.
Because previously it was okay, fine, if this one goes, I'll get another one. It was, of course, I was never like that, because my parents, they taught me. So my father-in-law used to always say, that Pratiksha feels happiest seeing the servants in the morning than she feels seeing her own husband in the morning.
True.
Said, Baba, if Prashant goes out of station one day, it will be okay with me. But if my servants go out of station,
because you're doing so many things, it's like you can't. Because
even people who are not doing anything, Priya, can you really do without them today? I'm just
They're so used to it. So
Yes.
during the lockdown for 2 months, I managed, but
Hmm.
I was not being productive in things that I wanted to do. You
Wanted
know,
to do.
time was, and I'll tell you something, like doing Jadu Pocha doesn't release endorphins.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like you're just doing it, but
You're doing it.
yeah, but the spirit they came, it was like, oh my God, red carpet laid out, and I totally get it. Yes, we've learned, this whole thing has learned us to be minimalistic,
Minimalistic.
taught us to be minimalistic, taught us how to value our family,
Family.
because our family are our friends, our social life, our dining table is our restaurant.
Restaurant.
Uh, we have to just embrace. I think that's the learning, Pratiksha, and I think as long as we've learned, it's enough, because I think we all
Yeah.
went overboard in our own ways,
Yeah. Yeah.
and this was just a lesson. Like, people flying would have different airport looks, and it went out of control,
Out
and
of
now all of
control.
us are wearing masks and PPE kit and hiding from people.
Hiding from people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole dynamics has changed, but it's for our good. And
I've put lipstick today after 6 months because with
wow,
that mask, that
yeah,
lipstick is also
the
going
lipstick goes, and my mask,
smudges and all that, you know. So today, like, you know, I put lipstick after 6 months. I've put lipstick. I mean, I put once one day, and I realized that, oh, this is not working, you know, because my whole face became red like that.
no, it's so sad, na. I mean, just imagine, yeah. Like, but I think as you mentioned, so I think, Pratiksha, to summarize all this, I feel that what you have sort of, that whole feeling of empowerment that you
Yes.
always were, but the spiritual journey, chanting of yours,
Yes.
probably gives you vision
Yes.
and bliss at the same time.
Bliss at the same time. Yes. It does.
Correct. So it's a nice. I've been reading this lovely book on the Buddha and the Badass, and it's all about incorporating spirituality into our
Yes.
work, into our
Our
daily
work.
life.
Yes.
And
Correct.
when I speak to you and hear about the chanting, I just feel that we should spread
Spiritual.
spirituality around.
I'm not saying
And
that I sit and chant for like 3-4 hours a day. No,
so,
I have my work, I do everything, but I take out like, you know, half an
10,
hour, 45
15
minutes
minutes.
every day.
Yeah.
Half an hour, 45 minutes I do,
Oh,
except if I'm doing for someone who is not well or something, then I take out a little more of my time in the morning. There were times when I was doing for a few friends, you know, who had got COVID, and, you know, I wanted to. Another thing, what I have seen really, I don't want to take names, but people who really trusted in them
Hmm.
were more benefited than the people who just listened.
Correct. I think it's a faith, na.
It is
And
the faith. It
it's
is
your
the faith.
faith and your
Yeah.
mind, and
Yes. You know,
you
because
tend
yeah,
to manifest what you believe in.
what you believe in.
And so wonderful, yeah, Pratiksha. I mean, it's so nice. It was a lovely chat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.